ready?
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Super Otaku Show. As always, I am Bear, joined by my fantastic, and I was trying to think of a pun, and I have not had enough coffee today. Co-host Taylor Made Otaku, how you doing?
What's going on, man? What's going on? How y'all doing? Y'all feeling good on this Sunday afternoon? Midday?
I think we can universally agree it is like our sleepiest Sunday we've had.
True.
And of
Big
course,
facts.
my Roman half, Aaron, how you doing?
I'm also tired, and I haven't had any coffee. Trying to not drink coffee. My throat is somewhat worn out from talking to Scott yesterday. I guess it's just been a while since I've had to talk that much.
Aaron's getting old and frail.
I am. My voice is not what it used to be.
That means soon it will be time to overthrow him. But anyway, guys.
You couldn't overthrow me at my weakest.
What have you guys been up to? What have you been watching? What have you been into?
Like in general or like anime related?
Either or. I'm curious. What just in general, what's up with life?
So I know this is a little embarrassing. I haven't been watching that much anime, but I got Disney Plus, right, to watch Star Wars Origins, which we're talking about. Stay tuned. But while I was on there, I was like, I want to check out this What If thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched What If, and What If is
What if?
what's the best way I could put it. What If is interesting. Some are really good, and others are kind of
Yeah, like it's a very mixed bag.
I mean, it's an
like-
anthology, right? So it's like you're gonna get those. I'm curious to watch it myself. I really want to see the zombie episode, because I don't read comics. That's probably like the nerd aspect I'm most lacking in is I don't really partake in many comic books. But I did read one issue of the run where it was like Marvel zombies. They were like all turning into zombies. And it was like all of them trying to gang up on Magneto and him trying to fend off the like armada of zombie Marvel characters. It was pretty great. I actually really enjoyed it. And there was like ridiculous puns. Like it was over the top and very comic book like. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that like. Now I think the best one was the one with Doctor Strange. That one was dope.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I really enjoyed that one. And then after I was done with that, I was like, let me check out Loki real quick. So I watched all of Loki. And I want to watch it again. And then I want to watch season 2. Loki is dope.
I only watched the first episode.
Loki's so cool. I love it.
It's definitely my favorite out of the shows they've made for Marvel so far. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I gotta check out Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I gotta check that one, and I gotta watch WandaVision. I haven't watched those yet. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
I liked WandaVision being their pilot one just because it was so, at least it began so very strange and did not ease you into anything, which is the kind of stuff I like. I don't like being talked down to. I don't like having to recap every Marvel moment ever just so we can talk about this one thing. I'm also particularly annoyed by I know this is just the way it has to be. But like every Marvel movie going forward is going to have like a scene where they're like, "Why weren't you helping fight Thanos?" And be like, "Oh,
why
I was
weren't you
out of
helping
town.
fight Thanos?
I was out of town.
I mean, motherfucker, Snap half of existence. Where were you?
I was in
He
the
was
snap
chilling.
path.
I mean, your excuse could be like, "Hey, he snapped me too." Like,
I got snapped, bro.
I
But like
snap.
now every show either has to kind of inadvertently deal with that situation or like weave it into their narrative. Some do it better than others, I think. That's why I like the idea of What If, because it's an anthology kind of pulled away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe a bit, and I'm like, yeah.
Definitely. So like my what I've been watching is a weird triumvirate of things. One is like the furthest from anime. One is like one step removed, and one is just anime. So because I like random stuff, and I randomly start shows to see if I'd like them, especially when they were really popular shows. And my most recent attempt is I randomly started True Blood, and because I like vampires and all that crap.
I like vampires and all that crap.
It's been a thing I've liked since I was a little kid. I've always found vampires cool. Like, I never found them scary. Like, vampires and werewolves are cool. I'm like, that's dope. But I was talking to Aaron about this. True Blood, like, is the thirstiest show I've ever seen. Like, I've watched, like, ecchi anime and probably porn that is less horny than all of True Blood. So, like, that's been a weird journey. The other thing, and this is something I would really recommend, anybody who likes kung fu stuff, anybody who likes action anime stuff and everything, I've been watching Warrior. It's a really good live action like martial arts show. It was created by Shannon Lee, the daughter of Bruce Lee, inspired by his pitch for a kung fu western back in like the 70s or 80s. And it didn't get made, and eventually that became kung fu because they didn't think like a full like Chinese actor could do it. They were like, no, nobody.
Because Hollywood is a bunch of cowards.
But
who hears Bruce Lee say kung fu western and everybody go?
For what it's worth, though, remember you got to remember he did this before his first film released in the States. He had no star power at the time.
Still, they're cowards.
So, but regardless, the Warriors is a really cool show. It has 2 seasons right now. Third season's coming out in a couple years because of a whole bunch of delays and mix-ups. But it's about this guy who comes over from China looking for his sister in like 1870s San Francisco, and he immediately ends up roped into the gang wars in China. He's forcibly like made part of one of them just because he can fight, and it's very cool. Aaron also no longer has a picture. Bye, Aaron. And he's back.
I apologize. I just I didn't want to blow my nose on camera. I apologize. I'm still kind of recovering from a bit of an allergy bout, but I'm okay. I'm doing all right.
Die quietly. And my last thing is, after after we kind of mentioned it briefly last week, I remembered that the time I got reincarnated as a slime had finished its season. And I finished that, and it was great, but my adventure to finishing it was very strange. I started watching on Funimation, because I have Funimation, so I can watch stuff on there with no ads. And then I caught up to what Funimation had, so I had to switch to Crunchyroll. And I was like cruising. I was like, yeah, this is great. Especially because the ads were glitched. Has anybody ever had this happen? You get those nights where like sometimes Crunchyroll's ads just glitch out and don't play. Have you ever had that happen, Taylor? It's super rare. I've had it happen twice to me, where Crunchyroll just broke and was like, we don't know how to ads anymore, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's called getting the premium version.
Yeah, I'm very poor. I just spent all the money I have and maxed out a credit card to move. I got none.
Fair enough.
This has been a weird week. I don't think I've watched anything. You know what I watched?
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, the Texas anime.
Daggone.
Bobby Hill is a shonen hero, is a shonen protagonist. I don't know you. Give back my purse.
Oh,
by the way, like, by the way, well, okay, that episode pissed me off because like I'm on Bobby's side. I'm like, yo, kick a kid in the dick. Like, is he bullying you? Kick him in the dick. I don't give a shit. He kicked his dad in the dick, and that's about as far. It's pretty messed up, but other than that, but I love the resolution where his mom is the one trying to punish him, and he tries to kick his mom in the crotch.
And she's like, yeah.
She's like, that's right. I got nothing, and Khan is on the other side of the fence, like, she's bluffing. Finish her. I do think that anime fans cross over a lot with King of the Hill fans because there's a lot of anime King of the Hill edits from like photos of the four Bill Boomhauer, Dale, and Hank as Naruto characters to probably one of my favorites is I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos of what's the song? You Say Run Goes With Everything. True. You've seen those, right?
It does go.
I don't know if You Say the You Say Run Goes With Anything videos are pretty funny, but I think my favorite is one they put on King of the Hill. It's so great. Oh, anyways, check that out. That's fun. And also check out King of the Hill if you somehow missed the late 90s.
Yeah, and if I look super distracted for a moment there, it's because my whole computer's just like seized up on the other end. Everything's running fine. Stream is fine. But like, I don't know. My computer is starting to hit struggle bus territory, and I don't know why. Maybe I've just put too much crap on it over the years. But anyway, I guess now it's time to jump into the news if nobody's got any other things going on in life. And
all I have is a question, which
sure.
might be part of the news.
Sure.
Is Naruto done with?
I don't. Based on what I've seen on the internet, no. Like, it's just the amount of people that like because they got started with Naruto, it is to them like the greatest, undying, bestest anime of all time. I don't think it's ever gonna go away.
No, but like, I saw like a video like this. I didn't see the video. I saw like the thumbnail, the title, and it said "Goodbye Naruto," and then somebody on a tweet that I tweeted out commented that today was the end of Naruto. Like, it's done. And I was like, so it's done? Like, is Boruto done? Is the last episode aired? Is the manga over? Is that what we're talking about?
I didn't see anything in the news.
Okay,
like,
cool.
So I assume it's just maybe he just like after that fight can't fight. He got like all-mighted and he can't fight no more. Because apparently there's a big fight and I kept seeing the clips of it on the internet everywhere, but that's all I got for you. So, and speaking of other terrible news, as always, I try to start with like the more sad and downbeat news at the top. And the creator of Go-Go 13, one of the longest running series of all time, it's been going on since 1968. He just passed away this past week of pancreatic cancer. The series is going to keep going without him. It was his wish that his team would keep making it. So Go-Go 13 will continue on ad infinitum. But like Go-Go's like a classic like Hitman series. He's like very stoic Hitman. I think we may have had it on here a few months ago for hitting like a very high benchmark in like volumes created and stuff. So yeah, just wanted to bring that one up. Kind of shout out for a damn good run, you know, like could you guys imagine making something when you're in your like 20s or 30s and being like, this is what I'm gonna do, like this cool thing that I created will now be forever.
No, I would try to murder it. Like a child that's become too powerful. You have to kill them. Like Luke Skywalker almost did. He murdered them in their sleep. Adam Driver, you must die.
It failed miserably.
I mean, it's only because he stopped. That's the real lesson. He should have just done it.
All right, I'm done talking about this sad, terrible Star Wars movies.
He wasn't going to do it.
We're going to leave the Star Wars until we get to fun Star Wars.
Damn, you don't think it was fun?
I love Last Jedi.
Damn.
So Aaron loves Last Jedi specifically because it pisses me off. That is my wholehearted belief, is that he does it to be a contrarian prick.
No.
I like
I had my problems with it. I had my problems with it, but it's a beautiful film, and I love it.
It's not.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine.
They're bad movies.
Yeah.
I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan, but I thought
they are like this is a conversation for another day, but like they're bad as films.
No.
Aaron's not a good filmmaker. It's fine.
That's just mad.
I'm gonna throw all the shade today because Aaron's being a punk. But anyway, on to fun things.
Punk is cool.
Baki Hanma kind of got shadow dropped this week, so I'm pretty excited. I didn't get
the new Baki series?
Yeah. So every now and then, every few like seasons, and they do this in the manga too, where like randomly he just changes the name of the series and it's like a new arc. So the new one is just Baki Hanma, and it is, I think it's another 13 episodes. It's up on Netflix now. I knew it was coming, but like it wasn't on anybody's like coming to Netflix this week lists that I saw, and it just dropped like on the 1st. So I'm very excited, and I'm sure I'll be back next week gushing about how awesome that show is. Baki Hanma is here. Next up on my list here is that the My Hero Academia mission, World Heroes mission, drops on October 29th in the West. So you can go see that in theaters. They just released images of the art book they're doing and everything. I might be going to see it. I don't know. I'm waiting on word from some friends. It looks weird. I haven't seen the last movie.
Wait, word from some friends. Scott, I'm your only friend here.
No, I have a friend who has better taste in movies.
I'm gonna go and watch. I'm gonna go and watch the new My Hero movie and be like, it was no Last Jedi.
I hope Aaron knows. I can just mute him at any time.
Now I'm trying to upset him.
Just gonna mute Aaron. Just gonna mute his box alone.
It's working.
It makes me sad. Next up, this is a thing if Sharif was here, he'd get excited about this with me. Digimon Ghost Game, the new Digimon anime, premieres tonight. It's the first like original, like I mean we got the remake of Digimon Adventure the last like 2 years is what they've been doing. This is the first like big original one I think they've done since like Cross Wars. So it's been a minute. It looks neat. It's like Digimon are people think they're like ghosts, so it's all like paranormal, adventure-y type yokai watch fun.
Yo, can we get the Ghost Stories team to do a dub?
Hey.
Next, just a little bit of fun news. This is just because I've been real into like UFC and MMA stuff, and I saw this pop up, and I thought I got a good giggle out of this. A fighter, Roxanne Modafferi, went to her weigh-in last week. She's a featherweight fighter in the women's division, and she struck the scout salute from Attack on Titan at her weigh-in as she was like posing up. And apparently it's a thing she does a lot. Like when she like won her last fight, she struck like an All Might like thumbs up pose and then tweeted that out with All Might and the whole quote. So yeah, I like stuff like that. More and more like MMA fighters are anime fans. Like the last style bender, Israel Adesanya, has literally struck Rock Lee's pose in the middle of a fight. Like that's a thing that happened. So that's fun. And finally, for me, just remember, guys, it is October 3rd, and we must never forget. Aaron didn't notice. a day.
You're muted.
Aaron muted himself. I didn't even have to do it.
I apologize. Is this the Mean Girls reference?
Well, it is Mean Girls, but more importantly, it's
Full Metal.
Oh.
It's the day they burned their house down and went on their journey.
Listen, bro. I had to watch that 5 times in a row, and I purged my brain, like, you know, like on your computer when you got to make space, so you take that big file you've been saving and move it off to a different drive. That's what happened. It's in a corner of my brain that I will go into if I need it, but like it is not easily recalled.
I woke up today and every single place I've ever been had put that. We should probably make sure we tweet out that, like, if you guys don't already know, we have a very good video essay about Full Metal Alchemist over on the Roman Bear Productions channel. It's good.
Scott had to admit that I'm a good filmmaker because it's good.
No, he's a good video essayist. There's a difference.
But there's good filmmaking in there.
No, there's not.
And film analysis. All the things you lack, my young Padawan.
He went over budget. I yelled at him.
The budget was my own money, so there is no budget. It is whatever I have in my wallet.
Not budget.
You can't hold the purse strings if there's no purse for you to hold.
Not budget. Anyway, do you guys have any news? There wasn't a lot of stuff going on this week. It was mostly like some seasons coming to an end. The winter season's kind of getting ready to start. I mean, we're getting the like little pieces leaking in, like Digimon Ghost game starts now. So yeah, there wasn't a ton of news out there. Does anybody have any last minute things before we move in to our topic of the show?
Just that I want everybody to know that Nina is playing Final Fantasy X-2 on our PlayStation 2 on a Samsung TV box, like behind me.
Tell her to go play the good one.
She likes this one. She says it's the one that everybody hates, but she likes.
But 10 is gooder.
That's what people say, but she likes 10 too.
Yeah. I 10-2 is actually not a bad game. I just don't like what it does to like one. It like makes one aspect of the story wonky until you like finish it.
Last Jedi is a bad movie.
It is a bad movie.
Wait, are you talking about the? I'm not talking about the.
We can talk about it after, Taylor. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you.
Do you remember?
And then I'll send you the Red Letter Media videos too, just to reinforce my point.
No, don't do that. Mm-hmm. First of all, Mr. Plinkett's a bit used to try and talk about the film, but like, let's move past that. I want to talk about. Can we talk about Final Fantasy film that had nothing to do with the Final Fantasy game franchise?
The Spirits Within?
Yeah, that weird ass animated film.
Dude, Final Fantasy anime adaptation movies and series could be like a multi-part episode in and of itself.
Because I've seen the I don't know what it was called, but there was a Final Fantasy movie they did with Cloud.
It's Adventure.
Yeah, that one was fun. Like the animation was fun, and the fight scenes were fun. Because it's like just Cloud and being cool. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what Final Fantasy Spirits Within is supposed to be.
No one does.
Nobody does. It was this, and the weird thing was the animation was wild at the time it was released. Everybody was like, "What is this?"
It's a odd, convoluted sci-fi movie.
Some studio went absolutely ham on a property that they thought people would recognize. Were they trying to trick people? They were like, we spent so much money. Can we just call it Final Fantasy? And people will come see it.
See, and the funny thing is it was Final Fantasy from the beginning, and that's the sad part. But anyway, guys, I think we should move into the topic of the show with good, fun, convoluted sci-fi. In the second half of our Star Wars Visions review, we're going to be talking about episodes 6 through 9. So that's the last 4 of the 9 that were part of this initial run. We did 1 through 5 last week. If you want to know our thoughts on those, you can go check that out on YouTube and on wherever podcasts are sold. Just look for the Super Otaku Show and check out that. And so we're going to go through the last 4 episodes and then go give our kind of like overall thoughts on the series. And our first episode here is actually one that Really liked aesthetically. I enjoyed it a ton. I don't recall the studios. I didn't go back and rewatch these. I had wanted to. But it is T0B1, the little droid that could. He's
otherwise known as Toby.
Yep. Toby is basically Jedi Astro Boy, and it's great.
It is cute.
It's Astro Boy as fuck.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like everything about it, like all the character designs are super Tezuka in style. I like some of like the little things in this episode a lot. Like for one, I like that it's neat that he's a droid. Like he's a little a kid that like the doctor made. I like that he mentions this is a little subtle thing, and we don't really get to see much of it. But at the beginning of the episode, he mentions he asked the doctor. He's like, "Doctor, did you make me bigger again?" And it's because like as he's getting older and he's learning, the doctor is probably like making him grow up. Because that's his Padawan, that's his kid. I thought that was really cute. And then
it's cute.
I like that the very subtlety that you don't. I didn't notice at first, but like the doctor doesn't have arms. And that's why everything he does is with the Force and with the droids. It's really cool. But like, what did you guys think of this one? This one I really had fun with. I thought this was cute. I thought it had some cool like action and animation towards the end.
My immediate thought, Astro Boy. That was my immediate thought. And then I was like, this is literally Astro Boy and the Doctor. Cute. This is real cute. Then came the sad part, and I was like, shit, I wasn't ready for that. And then came the good part, and I was like, I was ready for that. Trying to give a spoiler-free. Are we worried about spoilers?
No, I guess we should start from the beginning. Like, this one, it's going to be a full spoiler review, kind of from the beginning. These are such short episodes and short anthology like stories. It's a little hard to discuss them without giving up spoilers.
If you haven't seen it, mute, don't leave. We like to see the people in the
just mute the website, because if you mute the video, then you don't count as a person anymore.
If I go like this, you're good. I'm going to forget to do that, and you're just going to mute them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're never good with me around. I'm going to drop spoilers in the middle of conversation.
But when the doctor was like, yo, hide behind here, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn, he finna go. Mm-hmm. I also don't like the fact that the little robot literally just found something. He's like, I'm going to turn this on and try to fly around.
But
how does he even know how to do that?
I mean, he's like a programmed robot, right? Like,
but he's never seen it before.
He's so smart.
But I think it's supposed to be that the doctor kind of programmed him with most of his knowledge. Like, that's why he was able to carry on for him.
Wasn't that piece of shit?
Also, Star Wars is a series in which robots can do seemingly impossible things no matter where they go. It seems they just know how to interact with most any equipment. They're
Except
just
run.
Like, it's like knowing their own bodies.
They can't run.
He's like, I know how to turn you on.
Anyway.
I found this episode aesthetically pleasing, though the pacing felt very strange to me. It felt kind of weird and rushed at some parts, and didn't take its time in other parts. And it was it's a short, so it's hard.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have minded a couple extra minutes because some of the editing just felt very strange. That's all. The editing felt choppy and weird to me, but aesthetically very pleasing.
Yeah. The beginning they kind of dragged, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it dragged, but it also chopped around a lot. I genuinely liked the look and the animation style. I find it funny that the villain of this episode is the most cartoon over the top Sith of like all of them. And there's some heavy contenders.
It's funny, like he really struck me as like the kind of first villain Astro Boy would fight. Like just like the first, like just generically evil robot guy.
Generic bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very much like a kid's show.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Like you were watching the pilot to like Ben 10 or something.
I like the jetpack slash when he's just like him
Oh,
and his
yeah.
buddy Fusion and Ha, and I was like, I want the whole series where I can buy all these toys, and he has like different modes, and he just fuses
That's what
with
it
his
would
robot
be.
friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how this show would go. Is that he would just have an arsenal of robot friends that made different attachments for him.
Because he doesn't have the force, so he's got to have some way to like compete in a different way. It was very neat.
Yeah.
So I like Toby a lot. It's one that just I always thought Astro Boy was cool, and I like Tezuka's more like chibi-esque art style when he does that. So that was definitely right up my alley.
You know, if there's one thing this show does a lot, it's drive home the importance of lightsabers in this universe.
Yeah.
It feels like so many of the episodes are hyper focused on the lightsaber as being such an integral part of every episode.
Yes.
And every Jedi's like, you have to have it or you're not a Jedi. You're not allowed.
Well, Obi-Wan said it, right? And it's like, this weapon is your life.
And yet they lose, and Anakin loses all of them.
I mean, it's Anakin.
Vader doesn't lose any.
I mean,
That we know of. Wouldn't that be great if we got an offshoot series of Vader just constantly misplacing his lightsaber?
he's like, I don't know where it is.
The whole room begins to crush around him.
It's got to be one of those things where he's walking on. You know how in a lot of the Star Wars films there's the kind of graded flooring. It's got to be one of those where he drops it and it doesn't go through the grate, and he goes, oh, and he goes down to pick it up and like taps it just a bit, and it falls through the grate.
No, he like goes to like get it, and like just one of the officers on the ship walks by and knocks it in. He immediately force chokes him. Playing into all the classics. So does anybody have any like last minute thoughts on Toby? Toby's like I think a kind of short and sweet one.
It's oh right, you said you forgot who did it. It's done by Science Sauter. That's the studio. They also worked on Keep Your Hands Off of Vizokin, which was a dope ass show if you ever saw that. They also worked on Devilman Crybaby, which was anime of the year when it came out.
I watched like an episode of that.
What about Space Dandy?
Space Dandy, I've seen like lots of shorts. I've never watched it, but I have a bunch of friends who like love it.
You know, from the look of this episode, you would think they've been doing nothing but kid shows for a long time, because it's got a great aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, like next up.
I mean, there's also Adventure Time on this list.
What? Oh, did they do an episode of Adventure Time?
They did the episode of the series produced in-house. They produced it in-house. I don't know what
there is
episode.
an episode where there's
I guess it's called Food Chain.
Yes, I knew it. Oh my god, that's so great. Have either of you seen Food Chain?
No.
I don't recall.
It's this very bizarro episode that's kind of displaced from the wider narrative, and it's animated so weird and strange, and it's all about the food chain. They're like making their way through the food chain as different things. It's very strange and abstract.
All right then.
But it's a great episode.
Well, the next episode is The Elder. Who wants to take that one? Break it down for us.
Okay, I got this.
Okay.
All right. Two Jedi, Padawan and a Master, are out on patrol in the Outer Rim when the Master senses something. He says it's dark and malicious, and he didn't like
Bad
it.
things.
He gave bad vibes. He's like, oh, I felt some bad vibes in that direction. And so they go to a planet that they think it might have come from because it's the only one really near. And lo and behold, yeah, there is a Sith. I'll put Sith in quotes because it is kind of implied that he does not identify as a Sith necessarily. Might have been one before. But he is an old man, and a very creepy, mean old man who gets the Padawan alone because the Padawan splits up from the Master to go search in the mountains, and the Sith dude doesn't kill him, but wounds him gravely, so that the Master will show up and he can have an actual fight. And he fights the Master, and the Master wins. And the Master explains, it's because he's old. This dude would have murdered me otherwise. But he is old, and we all get old, and we get slow.
How did that kid not die?
I think it's implied that he was just, like, shock wounded. You know, like, I mean, I don't mean shock. I mean that he went into shock from the wound, but it never shows his actual wound very well.
Don't, but, like, it's like across the stomach slash.
Right. But, you know, it's Star Wars where, you know, like, the lightsaber cauterizes, or is that the correct word?
Cauterize, yeah.
Cauterizes the wound as it goes through, so no internal organs spilled out, I guess. And
that's
he just fainted of shock, which it's fair. That's fair.
Did y'all watch this subbed or dubbed?
I had to watch it dubbed. I had to watch it dubbed. I didn't have a choice.
Did you know the Elder was James Hong?
No, that's awesome.
Was who?
I love that guy. James Hong.
Oh, nice.
I love that guy.
I did like him. Like the Elder was great. I mean the character, the Elder. As an episode,
I was bored.
Since I took it, I'll let you guys have this one for a little bit, and then I'll share my thoughts after.
Oh, how I felt watching?
Yeah, what were your general impressions?
I was bored. I was very bored. I watched it dubbed, and the dialogue between the Master and his young Padawan seemed really. They didn't seem very interested in the conversation.
It was brutal. It did.
They did not seem it. There's a village over there. Oh, really? Guess we should go and we should see what's going on over there.
But I can't imagine.
Be careful, young Padawan.
Yes. I have to imagine that the sub couldn't have been that much better, because if they would stop talking for a second and the shot would just hold on them, then it would cut and the other one would respond. And I just thought to myself, like, boy, this could use a butchering, like, by an editor, because the dialogue is just it holds too long. Now I understand. Now I'm trying to think of what Scott's criticism of our criticism might be, and that's that they're Jedi. They're basically monk-like characters. They take their time.
Well, that's what I was
going to
say. Thoughts. Like, it's a very stereotypical take. It's like the most basic. Like the thing that I like about this episode is I like the character designs. I think they look cool. I like anytime you get like a generic like grizzled samurai. I like the way the Padawan looks. You know,
right.
And then I like the old man, of course, and I like that because he's like an older, weird Sith man. His sabers are weird and unique, and they look like sabers. I thought that was kind of cool that he has like the Chinese like twin broadswords.
I also like the fights were good.
Yeah.
They were very samurai, like a couple of moves and then it's over. Which I thought was pretty neat, and they really took the time to make the techniques look interesting. And they thought about the style of the users. So that was all good. I really enjoyed that. I did not know that this was triggers. This one was the other. This one was the other trigger one.
Yeah.
Kind of leaning in the opposite direction from the last one, which was a bombastic mess. This one is slow and methodical, and the character design is fairly grounded.
I can't think of another thing. Twitter. I keep instead of saying trigger, I'm saying Twitter. I can't think of anything else that Trigger has done that's a lot like this that would say, hey, this is definitely Trigger.
Yeah, no, I remember when I saw the trailer and it popped on like just the stills of this one, and I was like, oh, that's not what I expected.
Me neither. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, like,
how long have we been here?
Yeah, like, it's cool that they tried something different. They went like a different direction, but it is again it is the generic equivalent of like wandering samurai / Jedi and apprentice meet old evil. It also is something that feels very much like the beginning of a series. Like it's a simple, bland kind of pilot episode almost. Like it is honestly might be the most pilot episode out of all of them.
Really? I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Like
I would say there are two that easily beat this for pilot.
Which two? I guess the
the Ninth Jedi.
The Ninth Jedi, and
then Hop and Hop and.
Oh and, yeah, we didn't get to that one yet. So.
Yeah, we haven't got to that one.
It doesn't
that
count.
One is. Those are both the most piloty. This one, I could see them making a show out of it, but I actually like the small, self-contained little story. Because this is kind of the implication of what Jedi do. You know, they just kind of wander around, solve problems from place to place. And that's nice. And there's also a pretty overt theme about the cycle of life. You know, there's the children, there's the Padawan, there's the master, and then there's the elder.
Yep. I don't even notice that, but yeah, that makes sense. That's neat.
Yeah, most of this smart shit goes over my head. I don't...
That's what you bring me in for. That's what the big guns coming in with the big brain. I'm here for the galaxy brain takes.
I'm monkey brain. That's all I am.
No.
I like explosions.
We all like explosions here.
I don't have my soundboard, so I can't hit my explosion button. I'm sad.
Explosion, go boom.
Ready, go boom.
Sometime in the next week, all my crap will show up here, and I'll have my full setup. It'll be great. But anyway, I don't have anything else to say about this one. Do you guys?
I mean, I'll go ahead.
So you.
I'll reiterate, the character design is pretty great, especially for the Elder. I just love how creepy he looks, hit with his yellow teeth too, just rotting in his mouth. And like his creepy stance when he first gets there. Yeah. Goes, like, this old dude means business. I also like the methodical setup before we actually meet him. You know, his presence is very clear to them, even as they're zipping around at light speed. He kills a creature that is apparently extremely dangerous, as the master states earlier. Making him already kind of a scary foe. And just the fact that he shows up. He's like, yeah, I just killed this thing for fun. Like, maybe you'll give me a challenge or something. So, yeah, that's all I got.
I was just going to say that out of all 9 of them, I like this one the least. But it was mostly because of how dry the voice acting was.
Yeah, it really, really was. It reminded me of watching fucking the prequels again with terribly stilted dialogue.
Yeah,
and maybe that was I'm going to go out on a limb and say creatively somehow that was actually intentional.
Who knows?
That they watched the prequels and they thought, this is how Jedi talk. Like, literally, like, this is a Mr. Plinkett thing that I found really funny, because I kind of just put episode 3 out of my mind. Not that I hated it, but I was like, I don't care about this movie. But when Anakin tells Mace Windu that Palpatine about Palpatine, and Mace Windu goes, okay, let us go. They're in no rush. There's no urgency. Just, okay. I have to go now.
Yep.
No, I hate sand.
Oh,
it gets everywhere. That's fair. I don't know why everybody hates that line. That's such a legit line. Like, who doesn't? I hate sand too, Anakin.
But why would you say it? Like, what is the point?
You're out on a date.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
He was a slave in Tatooine. He gets to be sad boy.
Man. Cheer up, Bucko, you're a Jedi now.
By the way, like, I don't know why I can't watch the prequels anymore without thinking just like that the Jedi are all bad people. Like, there's a literal slave trade going on, and they're just like, yeah, but we got this one boy out. That's cool, right?
You
got a whole temple full of knights. Go solve this shit. What are you doing?
Well, so,
and
like,
they're like, this little slave boy's got so much anger in him.
As a quick thing that it, like, if you don't know Star Wars, the Outer Rim is not really part of the Republic. They're like very far away, and there are only like 10,000 Jedi for the like trillions of people that exist.
Yoda told this boy who was worried about his dying mother on a slave planet, like, maybe like put that shit out your mind. You don't want to be angry. Be like, who ain't gonna be? Little boy, you have so much anger. No shit.
He didn't tell him not to be angry. Like he told him to try and chill. And then when he couldn't, Yoda was like, "This kid can't do it. Like he's too old. Like he's gonna be fucking crazy."
Old.
Qui-Gon was like,
"Old to begin the training.
He'll be fine." But anyway,
those were bad movies.
Qui-Gon, why are you making so many mistakes? He's like, "This is fine. This is all fine."
Anyways, moving on, maybe Bunny Waifu and Sith Waifu can save us with Lop and Ocho. Taylor, you want to take this one? It's the closest one to waifus we got.
Well, you would give me the goddamn furry.
Yeah, well, I did it on purpose.
Okay. Alright. Okay. By the way, episode 4 had a pretty good waifu in it. Let's just get that right there.
I'm just saying, this one gave you 2 for the price of 1. They're in the title.
One of them's crazy though.
Crazy waifus are waifus too.
She rubbed her own blood on her eyes because she wasn't bothered to go get her makeup.
That's a moment that happens. It's real.
She said, "I forgot my eyeliner." Hold up a minute. God.
It was gangsta as hell. That's what it was, I guess. But
okay,
this Lop and Ocho. Is it Ocho?
I think it's Ocho.
Ocho.
Mm-hmm.
Ocho. I'm not gonna hold you. This was one of my favorite ones. I like how it starts off in the beginning where it's like the bunny girl, like she's part of like her race is like enslaved, and she escapes and she runs into this samurai dude and his daughter who, I'm not gonna hold you, in the very beginning I didn't know how old she was because she looked like she was like 17.
Yeah,
she sounded like she was 8. And she was the same height as her, so I didn't know what to do with that.
Bunny people are big.
I was just a little confused for a second because I thought she was his wife. I might have like missed a line or something. I thought she was the guy's wife and that she was being insistent on adopting this little bunny girl.
Right, but she's no, Dad, I want a sister. And it was so nice and wholesome and cute. And then you go, we get a time skip, we go to the future, and now they're at odds, which is fair. Teenage daughters are always going against their fathers. That's cool. And I like the whole like difference and like ideology of like the older generation, like the newer generation. I actually like that because I can vibe with that. I go through that a lot. Like my older generation is so stuck on so many things, and I'm just in the middle. Like, yeah, that's not how it works anymore. We can get over that, Grandma, please. But no. So I can get behind it. I was enjoying it. Now the fact that she was like, she turned evil, and used her blood to change her blue eyeliner to red, I thought was cool. A little gross, but cool. Then she joined the dark side. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I have terrible memory since the accident. But she joined like the dark side to help her the city and stuff and like the clan survive, right?
Yeah, like she joins them specifically to help the planet.
let me lay this out for you. Let me lay this out. The beginning of the episode starts with possibly the most blatant and immediate criticism of imperialism that there is. That the Empire is going to other planets, stripping them of their resources while telling the people of the planet that they're actually there to help them progress. Like, we're going to give you all this cool stuff. Don't mind the fact that we're mining all of your minerals and we're killing your planet. Don't mind that. We're giving you an iPhone. You get iPhone, I get all your planet's resources. Don't worry. So this was actually possibly my favorite dynamic in the show, where the father sees very clearly that the Empire and what it's doing to their planet is a net negative, and that they're like, to join them would be basically to be killing their planet for the safety of a few of their people. They're gonna join, as we've used yesterday. They are joining the vampire castle. They are helping Dracula, for their own personal safety.
Yeah, like
it's So Scott knows is referring to the D&D thing, but I'm also referring to a very famous essay called "Escaping the Vampire Castle," which is a critique of capitalism, but it's recognizable in many of the same ways, Scott. But essentially, her decision to do this feels very motivated and real, because you can see it from her perspective. She really does think that this is going to be the best move for her people. But it's also that she seeks to be among the higher class. She seeks to be amongst the Empire. She still seeks power in a certain way, which is why she's super pissed about the fact that Bunny Girl got the lightsaber. Yep, she's like, that's fucking mine. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the middle of the episode breakdown and skip ahead a bit, but please finish it up.
Oh yeah, like Bunny Girl gets away, goes tell. She's like, "Hey Dad, you adopted me. My sister, your daughter, she tripping right now, dog. What we gonna do about this?" And he's just like, "Damn. Everybody else done ran away. They're a bunch of cowards. I guess I gotta do this myself." So he gets up and he's like, "Hey yo, this is our family's lightsaber. You're basically my daughter. I accept you as my daughter. I want you to have this lightsaber." And I think he had like some hyperbolic time chamber, some bullshit that she could go and learn it real quick. If I remember that right.
She just read the wall, I think, like, because the wall just has all the forms drawn out there.
A hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.
Yes. A bullshit way to get a lot done very quickly. And then they had the whole like daughter-father fight. Then the two daughters went at it. And then it was the thing of like, they're just like, we can still like salvage this, just come back. She's like, too much. I've already walked away too much. I can't just turn around now and just come back. This is the end reference, if anybody caught that.
Not.
Y'all never seen that movie?
Nah.
I don't blame you. It's a Seth Rogen movie. That's telling you everything you need to know. Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Anybody excited? Anybody excited for Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong?
Oh, we'll talk about it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so like this one is an interesting one because in retrospect, after Aaron mentioned it, this is definitely here's why this one is like weird, because it definitely is a pilot, but it's also basically the entire first season of a show done in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
It has like great animation. I like a lot of the character designs. I think it's got like a neat aesthetic across the board and everything. I like the general themes and everything they're playing with. Like what pulled me out of it is literally just the fact that it is a short and they had to make the jump from like the sister being the one who most wanted them to be family to being the most like, fuck this, I'm evil. And it was just like, yeah, it had to. It's the story, but and then like if this was a full season, we would have gotten to see like what happened at points in their childhood and then growing up and then like recently in time, like that made her make these deals and what like bad things are happening that the Empire is rectifying, we would have gotten to see all that.
See, I wouldn't have done a whole season. I would have done a 1-hour pilot. Because this is, you can do some condensed storytelling with the idea. Basically, you would add in more conversations behind the scenes with the sister and the father. Because, like, the bunny, Lop is kind of on the outskirts of their family dynamic. Though she's been accepted as part of their family, there is insinuation that she is still kind of an outsider to this family dynamic. Which makes more sense when you realize that this is kind of a family that's passing down a legacy, like a physical legacy of a lightsaber. So the family dynamic would be an interesting thing to see evolve. More political talks behind the scenes, because the dad's ideology and her ideology are real ideologies that have such history and text that could be intertwined into their character that would make the story even more compelling. And Lop obviously being on the outside, trying to determine for herself. Now, obviously, she's got skin in the game. She was literally a former slave of the Empire, which kind of makes her sister's move even more of a dick move, you know? And be like, yo, they enslaved me. She's like, yeah, but they got great, like, their 401k program, bro. So good.
I just wanted to be known that I keep forgetting Nina is on the floor behind you, and every now and then I'll see like a hand move from behind you, and I'm like, what is happening? The beginning of something out of the ring.
I'm growing an extra person on my back, crawling out. But yeah, I think this could work if they took this one, added more scenes, to really flesh out the character dynamics. It would make the payoff at the end really good, and then the rest of the show is essentially about her trying to learn to master her power, fighting off the Empire from this planet, the sister being insistent that this is the best way, maybe eventually coming to terms with the fact that actually they're doing more harm than good. Conflict arises. You know, it could be a great show. That's why I said this one is definitely the second most piloty of them, because there's so much they could do with that basic premise.
Also, fun thing, this is one of the few where like there's lightsabers, but like nobody has force powers. They just have a lightsaber. It's very much it's very much like the dark saber on Mandalore. Like, it's just something that happens to be passed down. Like, it's just a lightsaber that belongs to this clan. That's it.
Right. It's never implied that the sister is, you know, a dark side user. She just joins the Empire and fights with a weapon that many other of the Empire characters would use.
What does she have again?
She has I don't know what it's called, but it's the weapon that's connected. It has 3 connections, basically like nunchucks, but there's a third.
Oh, the 3-section staff.
Yeah. Okay. Which I think the only other time I've seen that in Star Wars universe previous,
I've never seen it in Star Wars.
I'm pretty sure it's in The Last Jedi. It's with one of the throne people uses.
Maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah. That fight, I will grant, that fight scene's kind of a mess. It looks gorgeous, but it's a mess. Choreograph-wise, it's bad. They could have spent a couple more weeks on that one.
Yeah. If you ever want to go watch a fun video about like fight scene breakdowns, Shadowversity has some really cool ones. He's a very cool YouTuber, does fight scene breakdowns and all kinds of like medieval weaponry things. I just like him. Anyway, yeah. So anybody else have any Lop and Ocho thoughts? I thought it was cool. I'll be honest. This entire second half of the like anthology series, I was a little more like lukewarm on, and I don't know if it's just because like I binged it all in like 2 sittings.
It might be. That's what happened to me, is that I was tired today and I finished it all off, and I was kind of half in, but it has all these great things going for it. Love the character design for all of the characters. I genuinely like Lop and of course I'm forgetting the name. Ocho.
It's in the title.
I know, but I don't have the title in front of me, and I have poor memory. Lab and Ocho. I love their character designs. I love their dad's character design. I like that he's also just like, well, there goes my one good eye. So this dude is scarred up so bad.
Yeah.
His daughter takes away his sight. But he's still alive. So again, piloty.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess we move into the last one then, if nobody else has thoughts.
The Last Jedi?
What you got?
Okay. First of all, I watched all 9 episodes at one time. I didn't get burned out on anything.
All right.
These last 2 are fire to me, even though I was really sad at the end of these. But they were also fun. For those of you who care, this was done by Gino Studio, who also worked on Kokoku. For those of you who don't remember what the fuck Kokoku is, I don't blame you. It's that shit, I forgot what it's about. It's about the chick whose family could stop time for like a little bit and they could run around and do stuff. Yeah, I mean it was back in 2018. Yeah, you.
It's a different time.
It was a whole different time.
I didn't know, and we didn't know anything.
But it's like, what the hell is anime?
Yeah, they made anime back then.
None of us were anime fans in 2018. This is all new to us.
And they also worked on Golden Kamuy. Y'all know what Golden Kamuy is?
I've seen it a bunch. I have no idea what it's about or what it is.
It's weird. That's the best way I can put it. It's good, but it's weird. It's so weird. And the last thing they worked on was Pet, which, if I remember, is about guys who could go into dreams. I don't remember. I did not watch it. I only remember this because I hate the opening a lot.
But this is for Lops.
Yeah.
This is for Lops and Ocho, right?
Yeah, this is Lab and Ocho.
Yeah. So they worked on that.
Neat.
And then we have the last one, which is one of my favorites.
It's funny. So Akakiri is our last one, and it's one that I really struggled with, and I think it's because I was getting tired. Because like in retrospect,
it was amazing.
Like the actual story and the idea behind it is very cool, and it's got a neat animation style.
I love the animation.
It's weird. It's definitely a different call. It reminds me a little of like Tech on Concrete. If anybody's seen that movie, let me know. I think it's just me and my little brother are the only 2 people that have ever owned or seen Tech on Concrete. But anyway, I will take this one, and when I get it wrong, you guys can correct me. But basically, what is his name? His name is a bird name. The main guy, what is it?
Robin.
Tsubame?
Akakiri.
That's not his name, though. His name is like Tsubame or something, which means like swallow. Tsubaki. Yeah, there it is. So Tsubaki is, I guess he's kind of like the like Jedi retainer for this kingdom, or he was in his younger days when he was a Padawan.
We keep a Jedi on retainer.
And well, because this one kind of posits a little bit like Jedi are slightly more samurai-esque. It seems to be like kind of
that they work for. They kind of work with different kingdoms, for lack of a better term. They work with different kingdoms as kind of their warriors, and then
very samurai. Very samurai class.
Very samurai.
And you don't super know what's wrong with him, but he clearly is ill, like from the beginning, right? Like something is happening to him. He gets these weird headaches. He's in the middle of a fight, and
he's suffering from visions. Early on, this shows he has some flash visions that do not become clear.
It causes him like pain and like physical ailment. So like it looks like he's sick. And as it progresses, he reunites with the princess, who very much like. Clearly, he has feelings for, and there are things there, and their kingdom has been overthrown by an evil warlord who is the former king's sister, who became a Sith and all this stuff. And The overall premise is pretty simple. Is it like they confront the warlord, and as he loses, she kills the allies they had, and then is like, I didn't kill your princess yet, and I needed an apprentice. And you find out that like the visions he's been having are basically like force visions, and that's what's making him sick, and he can't control them. He's kind of seeing the future, what's going to happen. He's seeing this moment, and it's the only one where he's just like, fuck it, I'm a bad guy, I love my girlfriend, and he leaves, and it's just like, all right, man, let's go. Next episode.
Yeah, he's very much a kind of a subversion of the expectation that he's going to like turn on the sister or do something else, and he just embraces the fact that he needs power and just goes with this. In classic Star Wars fashion, he has a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then joins the dark side. Hey, Anakin, where you at? He pulls an Anakin. He does the exact same shit.
Kind of.
It's the exact same thing. I mean, obviously the story's not the same, but the exact same shit. But
I will say, the warlord has a much more convincing argument than Palpatine, though.
Also, she's cool. She looks like I know this is a weird one. She looks like Madam, or what's the name? Grandma from like the DC cartoons. You know, the
Granny
Darkseid's. Granny Goodness, Darkseid's warrior or general.
Yeah. It's what she's got
it.
a very like Mongolian look to her. Like she's huge. She's got that like ornate armor and stuff. I was like, I like this. I like her design a lot. She might be my favorite.
She's cool. Actually, my favorite part of this entire episode was the two merchants that take them. They're the best. I love them.
They're so good.
I'm glad that you brought them up. Did you know one of them was voiced by George Takei?
That actually makes sense. I was wondering why his voice sounded familiar.
That's amazing.
That is my favorite cameo in all of this. Like, George Takei? Fucking George Takei?
I do love that both of those...
Is it Takei? I think it's Takei.
I do love that both of them are like completely upfront with like, no, we're useless. We just get you through stuff. We suck.
Yeah. Our whole job is to get you there, though.
I know where to go, and then like his best friend is just like, and I have friends, and that's it. That's the whole purpose. I also do like that the princess is trying to storm the castle with just her. And I'm like, yeah, man, you do you. Like,
go for it, girl. She got a bow and arrow.
I don't know. I like this one. I really like this one.
This is one that definitely like going back through it, like I like better, and I kind of want to rewatch it now that I'm not asleep, because I binged these in literally like two sittings. Like the one time it was like early in the afternoon, I watched it and I was like, these are great, I'm gonna save more of these for later. And then I started watching like one at like snack time at like 11 o'clock at night, and then I just watched the rest of them. I was like, oh, I can't turn
11 o'clock at night is not snack time.
It is snack time. It is.
It is when you stay up all night.
There it is.
Like an adult.
Yeah. No. I think the self-fulfilling prophecy is a good move for a short, because it's a fun thing, because you put the stuff out at the beginning that gets the audience invested and interested, and by the end of the like 15 minutes or whatever, you've gotten to that point and turned it around and made it if he never did anything, if he never acted on them, it never would have happened. If he had just fucking listened.
So
the dude told him. He said, he straight up told him, he was like, don't do that. Starting to think that maybe if you start having visions of some shit, you should just listen to your master in this case, because they always seem to be right. It's like 2 for 2.
Kinda, yeah. But yeah, man. So like overall, like unless anybody has any last minute thoughts on Arasaki, as a specific.
Animation was gorgeous. Music was good.
I just really liked it. I was down for the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the ending was like, it really made me upset because I was like, no, there's more, right? No, it's over.
Yep, we're done.
Well, my whole thought was, unlike Anakin, she actually delivers on her prophets and brings his girl back to life, and he doesn't immediately go, "Oh, thanks," and then chops her down. That would have been the smart move. Instead, he was like, "No, I guess I gotta be evil now. A deal's a deal."
Just like, damn.
I mean, he wasn't exactly winning that fight beforehand.
Yeah, he wasn't about to win.
Because of his visions. Now he won't have them.
Hey.
He's already gotten to the end.
But anyways, so I guess this brings us to like concluding thoughts on Star Wars Visions in its entirety.
Oh no.
Like, who wants to take it? What do you guys think about like the whole anthology as a whole? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Otherwise, like.
Oh, thumbs up, easy. That's not a hard one.
It's a thumbs up.
This is what Star Wars. No, I'm not gonna say should be. I'm not gonna say should be because I don't want it to be pigeonholed into specifically this thing. I just think this is what Star Wars could be, and I'm glad they delivered on that. I think they should do more stuff like this. I love the offshoots. I love the exploration of different facets of the wider galaxy. If you're going to have a franchise this big, and there's no stopping it, it's just what it is. If you're going to do that, then you might as well give people the creative freedom to explore different nooks and crannies of this vast universe and all it has to offer. I will say, if they do more of these in the future, I would like less of them to be focused on Jedi and Sith. While it's fun and it makes for some great, action and interesting stuff.
It's the most anime part. And like I imagine every sword was just like,
that's true.
Every studio was just like, but swords.
Yeah. But there's so much more to explore in this universe that, can be very anime. Do you know what they don't do a lot of? So the one episode that had a droid as its main character was fine, but it was very humanoid. Mm-hmm. I am so surprised that none of these studios went, hey, you know what we do really good at? Battle mechs. And then didn't do anything with that. There were no cool, can you imagine Star Wars mechs? Some Empire prototype mechs.
So, well, I do want to suggest this is a thought. This is kind of something that the other, though more narratively cohesive anthology style series they have, Star Wars Clone Wars, did. Is I think it'd be cool to see each of if they do more series of Visions, maybe a general topic area, maybe this was clearly Jedi, right? This every episode is about Jedi and kyber crystals and lightsabers. So I guess lightsabers specifically are a integral part in everything. So I would be really interested to see maybe the next one is droids. Just gotta have a droid.
Yeah.
Or like outlaws, or just something like that, because they did something similar in the Clone Wars, where each season, because all of Clone Wars is told out of sync, out of not chronologically. The first 3 or 4 series are different groups that they follow. Season 1 is more of the Jedis. I think it's season 2 is more about bounty hunters and smugglers, and season 3 is all about clone troopers, and so something like that might be neat.
I would love to see a bunch of droid-based short stories, because they could be really fun. Those could be super cute and fun.
Yeah, almost like a 48-hour film festival, right? Where you just get your buzzword and you go. Whatever you can do, I guess. In that vein.
But ultimately, I don't know if they'll do more of these. We talked on the show that this is a good business approach. But will they do more of this exact thing? I don't know. This might have just been a fun experiment. And I was mentioning this to Scott yesterday when we were talking, but there seems to be a mixed reaction to Star Wars Visions that I did not expect. I expected the reaction to be very positive because this is the most Star Warsy Star Wars. This is just taking Star Wars, having fun. It's not canon, so it doesn't mess with nerds' precious canon stuff, so they can't get mad about that. But there are a lot of people, and this is Twitter, so like I don't generally prescribe. But I'm surprised. I'm generally surprised by some of the negative reaction to it. I think critically, it's doing quite well. I think most of the reception has been very positive. But fans just are very angry people. And they didn't like Star Wars lightsaber umbrella. And I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how you... How can you not like how ridiculous...
Here's my issue with it, is that your arms are going to get tired when you're using it to keep the rain off of you. You got to keep spinning it, and your arms are going to get tired.
This is space. Have a button.
There's a button.
But she didn't have one. Button. She clearly,
Did she not? I thought she had a button.
Oh, I don't...
Because it spins really quickly. There's no way she was turning her wrist that fast.
I mean, maybe she spins it with the force, but even that'll get you tired after a while.
Don't be walking in the rain.
Could you imagine if she actually uses it as a fucking umbrella, like it starts raining and she just puts it up and it's...
walking like this, and she walks into a place and just tears it down like, damn it, I forgot. This is a
like walking into like her own house and it just...
I'm telling you, I was shocked because it showed one of the coolest shots from that episode where she jumps off the roof and is like floating for a few seconds and lands like square in front of this dude. Mm-hmm. That's intimidating. But everybody was being so hating. Like, this is stupid. We keep making dumber lightsabers.
Bro, and you're also on Twitter. They hate everything except what needs to be hated.
But what you do get in to balance out the hate is you get a variety of gifts from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 of I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that.
Oh no, you are not alone. There are dozens of us.
Great. That makes me happy on the inside.
But yeah, it is kind of shocking. I would like to do a little more research into what more of the audience reaction is actually. I don't know if there's been any polling or, just general reviews online. I'll probably look into. Generally I hate looking into reviews of media on the platforms themselves. Amazon reviews of some shows are so fucking funny to me. They're so bad. It'll be hundreds of thousands of 1 stars and they're all saying the same thing. Can't believe this show went woke. Like, bro. What? Why are you all saying the same thing? Is this the same person on a different account?
It's a bot.
Yeah,
like bots.
It's a thing.
But no, it's all the same. It's always that. It's so funny to me. Can nobody dislike media for real reasons anymore? Do they have to make up boogeymen just to hate things?
No.
There are real reasons. Learn to analyze media.
You have to hate the media if it's popular or if everybody hates it.
Yes.
That's how that works. If people love it, you have to hate it to be unique. If everybody hates it, you can't like it because you don't want to be the odd one out.
That's the weird thing to me, though. It'll be on media that...
That's me and Tatooine Rhapsody. I'm like, let's go. It's my jam.
It's on, like, stuff that's like, who's watching this? And their criticism walking away from it was that. This is a tangent. Nina and I watched... we attempted to watch Amazon Prime Cinderella. It's horrible.
What the hell was that?
Randomly Amazon made their own Cinderella. It's a musical.
Oh, that's
It's
an L
bad.
off top.
No, I love musicals. I love musicals, but they did modern and randomly older pop music renditions that did
Also, the
not make
jukebox
sense.
musical.
Yeah, yeah. With some original stuff thrown in, and it is not good. It is poorly. What's the word? Like, it's very clear that the people on set are not singing. Like when you do a musical, like you do sing, but they don't use that recording, right? They'll use the actual recording. But this one, the gap between those two is so wide. It's so wild, and it's just bad. It's a horrible movie. And so I went to see the reviews to see if anybody was talking about any of those things, any of the kind of critiques I was hurling at it. And nope, it's all about how Cinderella, the story of Cinderella, was made woke. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? How? What is happening right now?
I mean,
this Grimm's fairy tale.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I do hate when things try to be like too woke, though.
It's that they're overcorrecting. It's the reason why people feel that way generally is because you can tell that Hollywood is trying to overcorrect for certain criticisms in a way that is pandering. Because like most of the media that tries to do this was already had some progressive values. A lot of films these days have very progressive values, and those just kind of slip by most people. But when they try and you can feel that it's pandering. You can feel that they're just trying to cash that paycheck and use it as a publicity stunt. That's
like
when it.
Batwoman?
Like what?
Like Batwoman?
Is there an anime? Is it an animated Batman or a live action Batman?
No, it's live action Batwoman.
Oh,
she is the
CW.
I think, yeah, where she's the cousin of Bruce Wayne.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a
some shit. She's like the cousin, or I think she's the cousin of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is gone. She tells Alfred. She finds out some fucking way that Bruce Wayne is Batman. Then she's like, I'm gonna be Batwoman. And then she's like, you need to fix this suit. And then I forgot who it was. Who makes the suit? The Batman suit?
Isn't that
Morgan Freeman?
Lucius Fox, right?
Yeah, it's Lucius
That's
Fox.
his name?
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. She looks at Morgan Freeman and she goes, yo, you need to fix this suit.
Wait.
And he's like, there's nothing wrong with the suit. The suit is perfect. She's like, oh, it'll be perfect when it's made to fit a woman. And then, like, the entire world blew up because everybody was like, no, fuck all of this.
I don't know. Like, CW has always been kind of like
terrible.
CW is. No,
they've always been cheesy as fuck,
CW.
but like
I love CW because of
it.
its corniness.
No.
Like, CW is great because it's corny. I genuinely enjoyed The Flash for a while on CW. Arrow was fun. That's corny as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
It tries to be all badass, but it just comes off as really corny most of the time.
Remember when we were talking about our final thoughts on Star Wars?
Star Wars. Visions. Is it good? Is it not? Yay or nay from the audience. Chat, where are you at? We got two people in one person in chat.
Say something.
Rick Orange, you and Chad. Yay or nay?
So that's what I was going to say. Is most of the people that I've talked to that have seen it like it.
Positive, right.
So that's a good sign to me. Especially because some like Rick is not. People like Rick are not huge anime fans and still really dug it and were really, really into it.
But they're also he's also an animator.
True,
so
but
gotta show respect.
Like most of my friends outside of this group are not anime fans to any extent, and anyone I've talked to has enjoyed it. And I think what I like about it is because like it is something that like everybody has something for them throughout this. Like I think everybody can find something cool, like a really great episode or three.
The big question, and the one I think that's on our minds and that's on everybody else's minds, is will this actually pull people towards anime? Because it's very purposeful in the way they designed it. They show the studio name. and it's really an advertisement of the animator's skills and storytelling abilities through the lens of Star Wars, which is a franchise most people are familiar with. Will this be the thing? Like, if you're a little kid and you love Star Wars and you see this new thing and you say, I gotta watch this new thing, and your dad and your mom and your sister and your brother who don't give a shit about anime or Star Wars just happen to be watching it might think this is cool in particular, will they become weeboos?
No, so I think this, like, younger generations that watch this, that yes, like, this is going to be an inadvertent gateway anime for little kids or like younger kids potentially. Yes, adults not so much. I don't think this is going to sway
gateway drug.
I think for some adults it might, because you know for like a lot of people, Star Wars was like they're like the biggest thing ever when they were like kids, you know, and they've seen it come back for, what is it, 2 damn generations now?
2 terrible trilogies. Oh. 1 really cool TV show, and now this weird ass anthology.
Like, so,
I'm sorry, did you say 1 cool TV show? Are you really taking out Tartanovsky's Clone Wars? How fucking dare you?
That's a miniseries.
That counts.
But it also aired during, like, it aired during the movies. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Though,
also
right?
not
like,
canon.
Like I used to work with a guy who was like a major like Star Wars fan, right? But he didn't like anime. He was more of like a comics guy. Mm-hmm. He didn't like he told me he didn't like the art style of like anime. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, cool, fair enough.
And this is cool because, like, just to speak on that real quick, like, it gives you a wide sampling of anime styles. Like, you get like old school with like the Tezuka style. You get Trigger, whatever the fuck you call Trigger's style.
Eclectic.
Bright.
Mayhem.
You just call it Mayhem.
Yeah. Like, you get to see like more like the cool, like really like real style, kind of like Satoshi Kon, and like more Hosoda styles, like that more aesthetic. Like, it's got everything throughout it. So yeah, like that's something that can sway people for sure.
Yeah, and like I asked him, I was like, hey, have you seen like the Star Wars thing that they got on Disney Plus? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what you think? And he was like, I'm not gonna lie, I liked like half of them. The other half I couldn't get into. And I said, okay, for like but you know, like all of it was like anime. He's like, yeah. He said the third one was really, really good, and so it was like, what does he say? The third and the fifth were his favorite two, which is the one done by Trigger, and then the one like, what is it? The Night Jedi.
The Night Jedi, yeah.
Who did the Night Jedi? Was that?
I don't know, but they were so good.
Is it IG?
Jedi was Production IG, which is like the 2 biggest studios in this list. Like, they're the 2 biggest ones.
The most.
So he was like, actually, he was like, I kind of want to check out more stuff from them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, first of all, the third one was done by Studio Trigger. And he was like, that's a cool name. And I said, listen, everything they do is fucking ridiculous.
This is Gurren Lagann. It starts on the ground and ends in galaxies.
Like this starts like this. It always starts out really small and in the neighborhood, and then all of a sudden it goes to chucking galaxies at the enemy. Like, literally picking up a galaxy and chucking it at somebody and killing brilliants of
I really want to finish Little Witch Academia because I need to know whether or not it also gets obscene.
No spoilers.
I need to just find that out.
I did actually. I think I did catch a few episodes of Little Witch Academia, and I enjoyed the art style, and I thought it was cute and fun.
It's very cute. It's triggered Harry Potter.
Yeah,
pretty much.
So better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for like the older generation, it'll bring in a few because they're gonna watch it just because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like some people just watch everything that's Star Wars related.
Hi.
And I feel like some people would, they're like, yeah,
I'm getting real excited.
Oh, damn, that's actually kind of dope. Hey, Weaves, can you recommend me some stuff? And then they get recommended Boku no Piku, and that just ends all their entire want to watch anime.
This isn't like to me, this isn't like Attack on Titan, where you strangely get like a giant swath of people suddenly getting interested in anime from this one show. But I do think it might introduce people to a form that they've up till now ignored because they really want to watch some Star Wars shit.
I think if they do an actual series, if this leads to a full, like, even just like a 1-season anime, that'll be a big gateway.
I got a good question. I got a good question then.
Don't ask me.
If you could only pick one to be a series, which one would it be? Now, you gotta think about this. Like, it's not about which one's the best, but which one do you think has the most potential to be a good series?
Oh, you son of a...
I'm gonna go Tatooine Rhapsody. We get a new song every episode.
You son of a nice lady. That's incorrect, by the way. Damn.
But think of the soundtrack. Just think of how it's gonna be #1 platinum.
Oh my fucking god. See.
Okay, I'm split.
Me too.
I'm also fairly split. Between the two I've already mentioned. Because I've already mentioned, I guess I'll go first. Lop and Ocho and The Ninth Jedi are the two.
I think we're all going to say The Ninth Jedi. I think that might be like the universal favorite.
They both have so much potential because, I mean, on the one hand, The Ninth Jedi starts from a place of most of the Jedi are being hunted down and killed. We are trying to restart a Jedi Order, basically. Easy setup, basic, cool. But I think I would actually go with Lop and Ocho. I'm going to go with that one as my pick because I think there's more interesting character work. There's a lot of fun ideologies to butt heads, which makes for more interesting conflict. While Ninth Jedi is cool as fuck and I love the premise, none of the characters to me were like... you don't know a lot about them because it's a short, but none of them grabbed me in a way where it's like, I want a full series of these guys, except for Old Robot.
The thing with Ninth Jedi that I think is cool is, like, one, I like the color changing lightsaber thing. I think that could have some fun, especially when, like, you're undecided and you're not sure who you are as a person yet. It's clear. That was neat. I also think, like, they can do a lot with that premise, right? Like, because it is going to be kind of like building your Seven Samurai squad would be the first season or so, and then like the next season would be them like really trying to progress the fight and getting into the middle of things, and then season 3 would be the finale, like the final like confrontation and planning to go into the end. I think they can do a lot of stuff with that. Like with that, we can see a lot of the galaxy, a lot of different planets, and then like the other one that I was actually thinking, because there's a couple that can do this type of premise that I'm about to say is like the, like the Ronin Samurai. I mean, like literally the first one is just that. Mm. But I liked the idea of the bride one. I like that lady. I thought she was cool. So I'd like to see like what she goes and does, because it's a little more interesting to me with her being like somebody who is only considering herself a Jedi Knight. Like, she's not technically one. She didn't pass a Knight trial or anything. She is somebody who is definitely a Padawan and like halfway through her training, and it's just now she's like, no, I'm going to step up and going to be this. And then watching her go through the galaxy and very much like Man in Black style, show up places, solve problems, get involved in the politics of the universe, and watching her slowly, maybe inadvertently aid or build the resistance's places. That could be fun. A little bit like Star Wars Rebels. And also, it's a blank enough slate that like you can build her a cast of characters around her, very much like her pulling together a crew, kind of like in like Jedi Fallen Order or One Piece. I don't know.
I was gonna say, this is the most shonen concept because you just expand out to an ever larger cast of characters. And the Jedi dude is their version of Kakashi.
That's like Ninth Jedi is like that 100%. Like he dies in the end. He has to. Them's the rules. But his lightsaber's cool. Taylor, we bought you as much time as we can. What is your choice, sir?
I hate you, Brad. You know what? I was stuck between Lop and Ocho, the Ninth Jedi, and the twins. And I feel, God damn it, man.
The twins could be fun. I guess I didn't think too much about that one because that one does kind of leave on a cliffhanger. Like, okay, we gotta sway our sister that there's the light, and it's Trigger with the most bombastic art style, so that could be really fun. It would basically be Kill la Kill with the lightsabers.
Yep.
Kill la Kill in space.
Yeah.
Like his whole journey to like save his sister, while also saving like the universe and
Kill la
stuff.
Kill sans the bathtub scene.
Which could lead to like such an interesting dynamic later on, to where he's at a point to where if he has to pick to either try to save his sister and risk the universe, or just save the universe and just give up on his sister, which I think would be an interesting like moment. The same thing with like Lop and Ocho, they could run the same thing, because now the dad ain't got no damn eyes, so he can't see. There's the Ninth Jedi and their whole journey, like y'all said, they can grow and their lightsabers change, and they're still looking for the maker of the
yeah, we have our first like arc story is that like trying to rescue the Bladesmith. Right?
God damn it!
Like I didn't even think of that. Like yeah, like they have their first journey, right? Is them trying to get the Bladesmith. Like that's the first arc.
Yeah, like they get the Bladesmith, then they try to get more supplies for the lightsabers. He makes more lightsabers, and they go out and try to find more Jedi.
Yeah, it'd be cool, like like they're there and in the midst of like trying to like get the Bladesmith. They encounter like somebody who's like, we get like our new like somebody who is young or like another force sensitive person there in that little like arc, and they're our first person that we give a saber to, and it's fun.
God damn it.
We broke Taylor, guys.
Alright. Okay.
Taylor.exe has stopped functioning.
First of all, to answer the question, all three of those. All three of those. But if I had to pick one, I would pick the twins. Because I know that I can trust I know I can trust Trigger to at least make it super entertaining. To where everybody else is gonna be like, I need more Star Wars anime.
Yeah.
And I trust I also goddamn trust
like
Trigger.
Think of how far they could go. Because their first episode literally, if it was a pilot, their first episode literally ends with him slashing a starship in half.
So
think of how far they could go.
I do think they would wind that back. Like if like we like redid this, like if they got to like make a full series, the first episode would probably be toned down.
Like in the middle.
It would either be in the middle, or it would start with him getting away, and they'd have a duel, and he would just escape. And it'd be like, I think it would end with him getting the half of the crystal. And then the chase would be her, like the first season or the first arc would be about her trying to chase him for the crystal and him trying to like figure out how to stop this thing or something. I don't know.
No, I would totally let them keep the first pilot episode.
That's not what's fun in Trigger. It's Trigger is the ramp up, right? Like you have to get there, and I think if we start here, it's too much even for Trigger.
Like if I was writing it, which I'm not a goddamn writer. I don't really write anything except for bullshit. But like I would start off like where like the episode started off with like them like as kids getting like made and like being raised like with the dark side, but having like the brother like kind of like see like how like wow, this ain't the life to live. We gotta change this shit.
I don't want my armor to kill me.
Like, he's like, man, this don't sound right, man. We gotta get out of here. But his sister's so like dead set, like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to go. This is my glory. And it ended up later, like I said, he has to pick between his sister or the universe. I like this. And I like to see what choice that they go with.
And also,
it's going to be interesting.
When do we find out who the Force King is? Because that's got to be the bad guy at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, they got to kill him together.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to double team his ass.
What if it was for the twins? It was their mom. It was like the ultimate baddie, just like in Kill la Kill.
Man,
it was mom all along.
Mom.
It's always the mom.
Well, they're born of the crystal, right? So maybe that's not.
I don't know. They're like
I had to come out of something.
Anyway, this has been, I think, our review on Star Wars Visions Part 2. Again, you can check out Part 1 over on YouTube and anywhere you can find podcasts just like this episode. If you didn't know, though, this has been the Super Otaku Show. As always, I am joined by the TaylorMade Otaku. You can find him over on Twitter at TaylorMade Otaku and on YouTube at the same name. You can find my Roman half, Aaron, and I over on Roman Bear Productions or Roman Bear Streams on YouTube and Twitch.tv. And yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Catch us next Sunday when we're going to be talking about something new. Until then, guys, have a great week and so long.
Peace. Why don't